Hey guys, I am up here on the Gold Coast and I'm building some kind of classic Gold Coast style apartments. And I built this whole flow, um, which is a relatively simple one. You take the feature, do some stroke dash, make the nice big kind of balconies. They're sticking out 2.1 meters. Take the dashes and offset them uh, and shorten them to create these kind of shorten the middle section and offset it a bit and then offset those side bits. And the reason this looks so good, it doesn't look like a normal giraffe model, is because we've added a couple of new features. So we've got a slab thickness parameter. So I can change, if we make this guy really tall, 2.9, I can make these balconies any height I want because I can parametrically change the slab thickness. So a 1.2 meter balcony wall is what I'm going for. And then you can see I've got that, I've set this balcony over here to, I think, 7.5, 7.4, and I'll set to 7.5. Um, so that's pretty cool. Just that simple parameter breaks the module of this building up, and you get this really nice effect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speak a bit to the grammar of these buildings. This is going to be one of these sort of, maybe it'll be like a beachside apartment pack. So maybe I'll make this the small one, I'll make this the tall one. Well, I'll make this one a slightly taller one, and then I'll make one more. And you'll notice often in the Gold Coast or in the sort of beachside, there's kind of these little families. Like the developer gets a really big site and then does like three buildings. And what I noticed was just this grammar here of like with this kind of offset logic, when you pull these corners tight, you get these nice extended, uh, like spiky triangles, which are really cool. And kind of what I want to show here is the the fun it is designing with these tools with Giraffe. So this is the same definition now, and we've got these buildings of not markedly different character, but at least different character. And so this guy's going to be the low level spiky guys who will cantilever more. We're not going to go up that high. And so to give these apartments greater amenity, we'll spike them up. Um, and what I need to do is I'm changing the length of this line to ensure that the dashes come on the edge. All right, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so there's the spiky guy. Now I'm getting some sort of stack order error there, which is human, all too common. Um, and there we go, it's gone. All right, so that's a pretty cool looking building. Now this guy I'll leave. This is an actual tracing of the building that I've done. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sort of see how this thing works formally, in what kind of form it generates when I make like a kind of a round boy. And this round boy that I'm going to make, I may actually, rather than rounding it by I may round it by algorithm. So there's a very simple, straightforward, non-articulated building. But if I open the flow builder, a little bit annoying, but we'll have to do it. Round corners, we'll round them 10 meters. Actually, that's maybe too many, 7 meters. That's good. Okay, so we have to do this. We have to do this for everyone, which is really annoying, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Excuse me. Boing, round 7, and the final guy. We need to add that round 7. Okay, save changes. Cool. That actually looks really good. All right, so we've got this kind of round grammar, and that carries through. This offset logic doesn't hurt it, and I'm just trying to get it more bullet shaped. All right, and this polygon is 600 square meters. It's not a very large tower, so we could probably stretch this guy out. Let's say to an 800 square meter tower. That's probably more like it. And I can even there. So we have this family of towers now, using exactly the same flow, literally changing nothing but the polygon. Of course, we could and probably should change some of the, like what we could do here is we could say, sorry, wrong balcony. We could, instead of them being two, we could make them slightly pull them in a bit. These do seem a little large. So let's pull those guys in a bit. So offset them by 1.5. And maybe you'd actually grow these guys, offset them. So now you can change the parameters as well. But something very, very nice about this. Probably a more substantial change would be the stroke dash. So instead of 10.4, we could go 6.2, like double the number of balconies. But there's something very beachy about that huge 10-meter balcony that you don't want to lose. Maybe we can go 12.3. There you go. It's a handsome development. To try and build this building here. So there's this inside building. There's like a glass, simple building, and then these balconies on the outside. Now, these balconies are varying depths. You can see it like swerves in and out and in and out, which is a lovely effect, which I'm not going to try and replicate. I'm sort of going to do the poor man's version of this with a uniform sized balcony all around. So let's start off with a blob. Blobby blob. Open, and we're around the corners first up. Okay, so we have the corner. And let's make this thing the residential. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the blob itself, and we are going to construct a base, the balcony, and we're going to do that in the following way. We are going to offset this thing as a line by 1 meter, and then we're going to offset that line back to a polygon by 1 meter on both sides. Then we're just going to add balcony, and we're going to add slab thickness of 0.35. That's fine. Okay, so we've got the balcony, we've got the residential, and we're going to save and see what we have wrought. Now there's no levels, so if I add a levels parameter, yep, and then we just need to kill the levels on the balcony. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the first thing. So we've got the, now let's take this residential, let's override the color, colore, make it that sort of dark blue. Oof, that's cool, I actually like that. And we're probably going to offset this guy by 1.5 and offset that guy by 1.5. 1.45, because what we're going to do is we're going to add some mullions on this. Cool. Oh, it's actually very nice. Oh man, that's fun. All right. That's very fun. Fun to play with. It's funny how these, you get this variation here, like, you know, just the angle of the camera and the angle of these lines. All right, now I need to add this balcony along the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this line again, and we're going to offset him. We're going to offset this line by 1.5, and then we're going to offset that line by 0. To a polygon, back to a polygon. We're going to offset it by like 0.1, and then we're going to add balcony to him. We're just hacking this balcony to death. It's doing too much work. I could add a balustrade usage, but we'd add the slab thickness, and we set him up to 1.2, and let's add a color and make it like this, sort of that, and we'll make it shiny by adding the shiny parameter. Okay, now we just need to offset this thing to the left. All right. Oh man, looks good. Kill that levels. Okay. And I'm just going to copy that. Which color do we prefer? The dark blue or the light blue? Let's make the residential shiny. Let's see which one we prefer. Shiny makes it darker. Let's get this residential a bit lighter. Yeah, that's good. That is the exact kind of aquamarine 80s jam that I'm going for. Boom. Okay. All right, that's cool. Now this building's slightly too big, so I'm going to unblobify it. There we go. Okay, now what I want to do is just add some. If we come back to the, so we've kind of got this. It's not quite. I think these slabs are a bit thicker, so let's do that. Also, they're expressed. So we're missing some of the magic here. So let's add that slab back in. How do we do that? Once more onto the breach. We offset the line, 0.2. We offset the polygon, 0.1 to the left. And we add the balcony usage. And kill the levels and slab thickness. And save. All right, and now we can see, we should probably go up a little bit. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now you can see what's going on. There's all this like multiple offsets, but at least we're getting this. Now this balcony, this mid balcony, is probably rendering is a bit short, so I'll just do that. And the final thing I'm going to do, well, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to add a roof, so one more big boy on the roof. These buildings always look better with a roof. And then I'm going to add some mullions on the inner facade, just so it reads a little more clearly. So the roof we want is this guy, and we're going to offset him. This offsets out 1.4 on both sides, so that's 2.8. So I'm going to offset this guy. I'll offset him by 3 in the positive direction, and then you just add a base height and a force stack. Sorry, not a base height, just a height. And you just make them like 1, and set his stack order quite high, and then a color, and we want them basically white. Okay, there's that fella on top, and then I normally do it again, so get that guy and offset him in by 5, and then do the same thing. So force stack, color, and height. And this height is more, not 10, but like this is the plant. And that stack order needs to go right up. Yeah, 1000. Cool. Okay, so that thing slightly too tall. Okay. All right, so that's looking good. And let's just add these mullions now on the round corner. So what we'll do, we'll grab our inner residential. So that's going to be this young friend of ours. Now we're going to offset line 0.01, and then we're going to stroke dash, and we'll go 4, add 0.2. We're going to grab the dashes, invisible. We're going to offset those polygons 0.2 to the left, and we're going to make them residential. Save. Okay, now we just need to figure out where and why. And so what we need to do is, you see, they need a slot in there. So the balcony is making them stack. Offset line. So it's not that one. There's a name which we can top, which doesn't come out. We're adding that in. Okay, so I just need to find the balcony that we're talking about, which is this balcony. I need to give it a bit more space. So I'll pull that in to 1.3. There we go. All right. So basically, I've just added a bit more space so those residentials can slide down. So it's all chicanery. It's all tricks. But what tricks? What glorious tricks. Um, you can see it fails on a overly convex corner for some reason, because that stack order trickery fails. But that's kind of good. That's kind of useful, isn't it? I like that. This is a cool template. I think this is my beachside developer coming to the fore, and I can build these kind of developments up and down the Gold Coast to my heart's content.